Hello and welcome to In the Workshop with Mark Tunley, mid-September 2025, and it's still blustery and windy out there and raining away. Now, James, you got a question for me?
I do. So, incremental steps in test curve, go.
Okay, incremental steps in test curve. Right, okay. Now, probably we all know this any case. If we talk about specialist rods here, barbel rods, chub rods, carp rods, whatever, they're a quarter-pound increment in test curve. And there's a reason why. Is the quarter-pound is just about noticeable, okay? When you get into like 2 ounces, quarter-pound, 4 ounces, when you get into 2 ounces difference in test curves, they're not noticeable at all. You pick the same rod up and go, I can't even feel it. As an expert, somebody who's got a torque wrench in his arm and can feel test curves, I'd go, I can't tell any difference. But a quarter-pound, I can. But it's still quite subtle. Right, so I have a personal preference towards half-pound steps in test curve. Now, but manufacturers want to do the quarter-pound. And I'm theorizing here, it's because of maybe a predetermined mindset to a type of test curve that somebody wants. So say, for instance, they've been using 3-pound test curve carp rods and they want an upgrade, but they just want a little bit more. They just want a little bit more. So they'll automatically pick a 3 1/4 for just a little bit more. Now, depending, if they've gone with the same manufacturer and it's the same sort of product, then they will notice a difference. But the problem is not all companies make the same test curve the same. In other words, if you buy a 3-pounder from ABC company and a 3-pounder from 123 company, they can be quite different. So, and that depends on actions as well. So, from a manufacturing viewpoint, I don't want to restrict my product range. I'm just going to have a full set of test curves from 0 to 2000 and everything in between. And the customer can just roll his dice and pick whichever one he wants. And then he's happy. I've made a sale as a manufacturer. He's happy he's got his rod, blah, blah, blah. But from a user's viewpoint, these quarter-pounds I feel are just not enough. So, for instance, if you look at carp rods, one of the best test curves, it's an unpopular test curve, and I don't know why. I do sort of know why. It's because the 10-foot rods come in, but I digress. One of the best test curves for a lightweight carp rod is 2 3/4 pound, 2.75. And that's a fabulous rod for pinging around 2 ounces, maybe 2 ounces in a small bag, medium range, and it's just a lovely rod. Super capable. I can wang like a 2 or 3 ounce lead 100 yards with one of those rods all day long. And it plays fish beautifully. So it's a lovely, lovely test curve. 2 3/4. And then if you went, instead of the quarter-pound to the 3, which won't be much different, if you jump a whole half-pound test curve up to a 3 1/4, now you've got a different animal. Now this will do 3s and 4 ounces range, weights, good ranges, 130 yards plus, etc. like that. So a noticeable difference. And I like rods to have a noticeable difference. Now, I did a video earlier on today about the different lengths of float rods. I like a noticeable difference between things. And the same with test curves. Because if you've just got this tiny little incremental bit, it's like, well, which one do I go for? It's hard. But if you've got, say, for instance, a 2 3/4 test curve carp rod, and you just know that's not got enough beef, it's not got enough teddy for the next thing I want to do, you can jump a good half-pound up and you're there straight away. And then I would say, again, from the 3 1/4, which I call a power all-rounder. It's a great all-round rod in the more powerful side of things, the sort of 4-ounce fishing. Possible range, possible margin, whatever. It does a lot of things. I think if you then want to jump up to a really proper powerful distance rod, you want to go to a 375. So it sort of makes the 3 1/2 redundant, because the 3 1/2's neither super powerful or light enough. It's sort of, if you're going to go powerful, go 375. If you're going to go, a perfect heavyweight all-rounder, go 3/4. And if you want a lightweight all-rounder, 275. And if I was going to bring out a range of rods and I just wanted to really make it easy for the angler to just say, well, you know, it says what it is on the tin. I got a lightweight all-round rod, 275. Heavyweight all-round rod, 3 1/4. Proper distance machine, 375. Done. Easy.
So,
Make sense?
do you think that the £1/4 incremental increases make more of a drastic difference on those kind of ultra lightweight rods like the £1 test curves?
Yes, massively, because it's the percentage difference, isn't it? It's a 25% increase. I mean, so yes, it does. A difference between a £1 rod and a 1 1/4 rod, yes. So when you get into the lower test curves, for sure. Now, if you're talking specialist rods, I like 1 1/4 is a nice lightweight specialist rod. 1 3/4 is a great all-round sort of 2 ounce, 2 to 4 ounce barbel rod. Very, very popular with the barbel guys. 1 3/4, just super duper. And then I like the £1/2 increment. 2 1/4 for the next one, and 2 3/4 for your proper big river 8 ounces jobs. But when you're getting lower down, yeah, definitely these £1/4 test curves can be right. Between £1 and 1 1/4. But now we're splitting hairs, because when you get into a £1 specialist rod, I mean, it can only about flick around an ounce lead with an ounce feeder. And a 1 1/4, it's not going to do much more. So you are splitting bloody hairs. So that's the wild card area. That's where it gets complicated. The bigger boy stuff, the big carp rods, easy to deal with. You know, you want a powerful, hit it to the horizon, 375. Decent all-round heavyweight rod, 3 1/4. Decent lightweight all-round rod, 2 3/4. Done. Gets more complicated in the specialist world, but not much. Just down in the lower end, as you said. So yeah, if I was bringing out a full range of rods, I'd have a 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, and 2 3/4, and I'm covered from my sort of winter free lining for chub with my 1 1/4, right the way up to my Trent fishing with 8 ounce bloody feeders up on tripods. Oh, great big stuff in whirlpools and everything in between, and it makes it easy. You know, these £1/4 test curves, it's confusing for me, let alone anybody else, and it really is just a roll of the dice. And I'm sure most people buy these things obviously with their previous history. They've been using XYZ, they want to step up, a noticeable step up a little bit, and they grab it like that. So as manufacturers, will just make them covering all these £1/4 increments in order to just let the customer go, I'll have that one. Ching goes the till, and everybody's happy. Customer gets a great rod, company makes some money. You know, but from a designer viewpoint, it's like, oh, too confusing. Noticeable steps. It's, well, not really, should I say, designer's viewpoint. It's from a angler's viewpoint. I know for a fact, in my specialist river rod world, I take a 1 3/4, a 2 1/4, and a 2 3/4, and I'm predominantly talking about barbel fishing here. And that's it. 2 to 4 ounce, 3 to 6 ounce, 4 to 8 ounce. I know what I'm doing. You know, if that one's too light and that one's way too heavy, use that one. Easy. Make sense?
It does to me, yeah.
I'm glad it does to you. It doesn't make sense to me, but there you go. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video, and enjoy your fishing.